Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients. Today, the purpose of this radio show is we bring on, sometimes, we have like two different formats. We'll bring on subject matter experts from around the globe who've basically been there and done that. I've learned throughout my career that you can seek advice or you can seek counsel. And the difference between advice, you wouldn't ask investment advice from your broke brother, right? You wouldn't ask, exercise or diet information from somebody who doesn't participate in those, weighs over 300 pounds, right? Not to say there's anything wrong with any of those people as human beings, but they really don't know what they've done, how to succeed in those areas, right? So what we do is we'll bring on people who have in fact succeeded in those areas. So that's one of the type of formats we'll do it, because I believe that there's a big difference between seeking counsel and seeking advice. So I always try to have mentors or somebody who's actually been in that field that you are looking to succeed in, and it will just help you, navigate the pitfalls that are there for everybody. I mean, it's not subject to one or two people. I mean, there's just ways things work. So if somebody who's already been there and done that can help navigate you, it really reduces your time in terms of going from where you are to where you want and need to be. And then the second format for this show, and sometimes it's also in conjunction, is I will just do tips. I will break the show up into 2 or 3 sections and do tips, just give you guys actionable content on things you can use to achieve even greater success. Today's format is that I'm going to break the show up into 3 sections, 2 short sections and 1 long section, and that will be giving you actionable tips on things that you can do to achieve even greater success and cut out some of the pitfalls that face all business owners and entrepreneurs, okay? And it's totally free. The radio station, WCAP 980 AM, Sam Polton has put this show on. I don't get paid to do the show. I don't get charged to do the show. My guests don't pay to come on the show, and they don't get paid to come on the show. This is just a gift from the station owner, Sam, to the community. So if you have a chance, don't be afraid to reach out and say thank you, Sam. So the first section we're going to talk about today is search engine optimization. For me, is huge. It's 89 cents of every dollar spent online is through the search engines. 11 cents of every dollar spent online is through social media. Yet you'll hear people harp on social media so much because of its social content. You feel that you can build relationships or use direct marketing more. And some of that's true and some of it isn't true. But the bottom line is numbers, right? So I like to focus on the search engines, and we do at RCS Online Solutions, we do social media marketing for clients, and we also do SEO, search engine optimization, and we get our clients ranked on the first page often before they even pay us. That's how good we are. But what I want to talk to you today is about going through, doing this for years. I've seen things that are pretty consistent that people are making mistakes on. So I want to give you 6 or 7 tips on to avoid, specifically on what to avoid, okay? So 7 SEO fails, F-A-I-L-S, that I have seen, and then how you can avoid them. So here we go. I've written some of this because sometimes I'll go off in stories. I'll give you an example, and then I'll get into a story, and then my time to give you tips goes away. So I've written this, and then I'll try to give you stories to make it real or just a little more relatable. But I want to try to focus more on what I've written so I can get you guys more content. And this helps me stay focused. So I'm going to read a little bit and then talk. We often get questions from people wondering why their site isn't ranking or why it is not indexed by the search engines. So recently, we've come across dozens of sites with major errors that could be easily fixed if the owners knew where to look. While some SEO mistakes are quite complex, here are a few that are often overlooked head-slamming errors. So check out these SEO blunders and how you can avoid making them yourself. So SEO fail number 1. Now I'm giving you 7 of these, and they'll be ordered 1 through 7. It doesn't necessarily mean this is the biggest one or the most important one, but it's the one that I see most often, and it really does have big implications. The Robots.txt file, it's Robots.txt, and the problems that they come up with. The Robots.txt file has a lot of power. It instructs search engines bots what to exclude from their indexes. In the past, I've seen sites forget to remove one single line of code from that file after a site redesign and sync their entire site in the search results. So when a flower site highlighted a problem, I started with one of the first checks I always do on a site, look around the Robots.txt files. I wanted to know whether or not the site's Robots.txt was blocking the search engines from indexing their content, which is the exact opposite of what you want. But instead, the expected text file, I saw a page offering a delivery flowers to Robots.txt. The site had no Robots.txt, which is the first things bots look for when crawling a site. That was their first mistake. But to make sure that you actually have a Robots.txt file, okay? So make sure you have one, and make sure it's not fully blocking your ability to be indexed. Number 2 would be augmentation, Autogeneration gone wild. This is another big one. The sites were automatically generating nonsense content. It would probably deliver to Santa Claus or whatever text I put in the URL. I ran a check on a certain tool that I use called Check Server Page Tool to see what status the auto-generated page was showing. If it was a 404, meaning not found, then bots would ignore the page as they should. However, the page's server's header gave a 200 OK status. As a result, the fake pages were giving the search engines a green light to be indexed. Search engines want to see unique and meaningful content per page, so indexing these non-pages could hurt their SEO. So make sure you don't have auto-generation gone wild. Sometimes we've seen people create a whole bunch of pages and just insert a different city or a town in there. And if it's not done right, that can really hurt you. So tip number 3 for fails. So, one of the biggest fails we see, number 3, is canonical errors. So we will check to see what the search engines think of a certain site through their canonical errors, and can they crawl and index the page. Looking at the source code of various pages, I noticed another major error. Every single page had a canonical link element pointing back to the home page, meaning it would have the page, and then inside the code, at the end of it, it would be linking back to the home page. In other words, search engines were being told that every page was actually a copy of the home page. Based on this tag, the bot should ignore the rest of the page on that domain. Fortunately, Google is smart enough to figure out that when these tags are not used, when these tags are likely used in error. So it was still indexing some of the site's pages, but the universal canonical request was not helping the site's SEO. So that's a big one. Just make sure your pages don't show up as just one long page or the same page just repeated over and over again. So that was canonical errors. So how to avoid these SEO fails? Have a Robots.txt file to search, to tell the search engines how to crawl and index the site. Even if it's a blank file, it should exist at the root of your domain. Generate proper canonical link elements for each page, and don't point away from a page you want indexed. Display a 404 page when a page URL doesn't exist. Make sure it returns a 404 server code to give the search engines a clear message. Be careful with auto-generated pages. Avoid producing nonsense or duplicate pages for search engines. So even if you're not experiencing site problems, these are good points to review periodically just to remain on the safe side. You might be experiencing problems and be not aware of it because you think everything is going good. However, you could be going a lot better. You might have one or more of these problems. And we provide a free website analysis. So if you're out there and you're wondering if you have one or more of these issues, just send me an email with your website link, Ron, at rcsonlinesolutions.com, and request a free website analysis. And we'll send that over to you. No obligation. If you have the skill set to fix the errors, fix them. If you don't, we can fix them for you for a nominal fee. So SEO fail number 4, overnight rankings free fall. Sometimes a simple change can be a costly mistake. The story comes from an experience with one of our SEO clients. When the .org extension of their domain became available, they scooped it up. So far, so good. But their next move led to disaster. They immediately set up a 301 redirect pointing to the newly acquired .org to their main.com website. Their reasoning made sense to capture wayward visitors who might type in the wrong extension. But the next day they called frantic. The site traffic was non-existent. They had no idea why. A few checks revealed that the search rankings had disappeared from Google overnight. It didn't take much question and answers to figure out what happened. They put the redirect in place without considering the risk. So we did some digging and discovered that the .org had a sordid past. The previous owner of the .org site had used it for spam. With the redirect, Google was assuming all that poison to the company's main site. It took only 2 days to restore the site standing once we redirected it. So how to avoid this fail? Always research the link profile and history of the domain name you register. A qualified SEO consultant can do this. There are also tools you can run to see what skeletons may be lying in that site's closet. So you don't want to redirect or buy a older domain. Some people will tell you to do that as a way if you're going to be doing PDNs or something. But that's a great way of picking up domain authority because you have length of time. But before you do that, just make sure that the website itself that you're picking up doesn't have, like I said, a sordid history, and it has been penalized by Google. Especially if it's a really good site name, chances are it wouldn't be available, right? So somebody dumped it for a reason. So fail number 5, pages that won't go away. Sometimes sites can have a different problem, too many pages in the search index. Search engines sometimes retain pages that are no longer valid. If people land on error pages when they come from the search results, it's a bad user experience because they're going to get a bounce rate, right? They're going to leave. And Google's going to use that low time on your site. It's going to continue to have a high bounce rate, and then they're going to stop sending traffic to you. So you want to make sure that all your pages are up to date and accurate in you providing a good user experience. So the first part, how to fix this, how to avoid this mistake, the first part of this fix is to not disallow these to not disallow these URLs in your robots text. You want the bots to crawl around and know the URL should be dropped from the search index. After that, set up a 301 redirect to the old URL. Send the visitor and search engines to the closest replacement pages on the site. This takes care of your visitors, whether they come from a search or from a direct link. So that's the solution. I'm giving you the solutions, and if you can do it, do it. But again, remember, we can take care of all this for you. And we what we do when we do people's what we call on-page SEO, which is what this is, what we do to the website itself, it's usually 2 weeks, start to finish. Certainly we could do it quicker than that, but we also have other clients. So, it's not like it's going to take a long time for this stuff to get fixed for you. So, SEO fail number 6, missed link equity. I followed the link from the university website and was greeted with a 404 not found error. This is not uncommon, except that the link was to home HTML, the site's former homepage URL. At some point, they must have changed their website architecture and deleted the old style home.html, losing the redirect in the shuffle. Ironically, their 404 page says that you can start over from the home page, which is what we were trying to reach in the first place. So how do you fix this? To fix this link, they just needed to put a 301 redirect pointing from /home.html to the current home page. And there's plenty of articles. If you want to do that, you can just Google it on YouTube, and you can see how to do a 301 redirect. But make sure you're doing it right and you're inside the HT access file, right? So and then number 7, the last one, is fail number 7, copy and paste fails and errors. The site redesign launches. The canonical tags are in place, and the new Google Tag Manager is installed, yet there are still ranking problems. In fact, one new landing page isn't showing any visitors in Google Analytics. The development team responds that they're doing everything by the book and have followed the examples to the letter. And they are exactly right. They followed the examples, including leaving an example code. After copying and pasting, the developers forgot to enter their own target site information. There are 3 examples of our analysts have run across in website code. And, I'm going to put this in the description, because if I give it to you, it's just going to be, geek talk, HTML code stuff. But it's link rel equals canonical href equals htt :/exec and then example.com, whatever the website is. But there's 3 of them. In the description, I'll put all this in here. So basically, these were the 7 tips and how to avoid this particular SEO fail on the copy and paste error. So when things won't work right, look beyond just, is this the element or is it in the source code? It may be that the proper validation code, account numbers, and URLs were never specified in your HTML code. Mistakes happen. People are only human. I hope that these examples will help you avoid similar SEO blunders on your own. But some SEO issues are more complex than you think. So if you have an index problem, whether you're being indexed or not being indexed, or you were and you no longer are, or you feel that you're not showing up where you should be, feel free to reach out to me personally at ron@rcsonlinesolutions.com. My website is www.rcsonlinesolutions.com. And like I said, we'll provide you with a free website analysis. We'll tell you what errors you have. And there's more than 7 that we come across, but I just wanted to give you 7 to let you know, okay? So feel free to reach out to us, and stay tuned for our next section. We will talk to you about the difference between SEM and SEO. And then in our 3rd section today, we're going to talk to you about how to appropriately use index, how to get your images optimized for SEO. So those are some really big. Today is all about getting you found on the search engine so people can consider you and hire you. You've been listening to How to Avoid 7 Major SEO Mistakes with Ronald Couming on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming on WCAP 980 AM.